Hi horse friends, in today's video we're going to talk about how to protect your barn if you have strangles in your area. As some of you might know from some of our other videos, we did have the bacteria strangles at our barn last year, and it is not something you want to have to experience, I can tell you that much. We did not know that there was going to be an outbreak in our area, and we do practice very good biosecurity measures, which is why we were able to contain it so quickly. So in this video, I'm going to go over several ways that you can protect your barn against getting strangles in, and some wonderful biosecurity measures for that. Number one way is to isolate new horses coming in for at least 2 weeks. Take temperatures twice a day if you can. Morning and night, the horses' temperatures do have a tendency to range during the day, especially depending on the heat. No nose-to-nose contact with other horses, and then look for any drainage areas, especially underneath the jowl. It's not coming out the nose. All of those things are signs of strangles. Now, not every horse actually gets those outward signs. So temperature, depression, not wanting to eat, all of those are symptoms. Now, also remember that strangles lives in the soil too as well. So I want to make sure that my horses that are isolated, that come in, are truly isolated. We don't take them in cross ties. That I call that like the kitchen sink or the bathroom. We don't necessarily ride them in the same arena as other horses if we can. Now this is, of course, remember again, if there is strangles in your area. So some of these biosecurity measures might seem a little bit maybe too extreme for some. I also get in communication with my farriers, my veterinarians, my body workers, and I make sure that they haven't seen other horses that day before they come to our barn. If my barn is a quote-unquote clean barn of strangles, they need to have changed their clothes. They need to have not gone anywhere that they know of at all that has had strangles, because it lives on surfaces for up to 48 hours, and it can live in water a little bit longer. So there are disinfectants that people can use, like bleach, and then what was the name of the other one that we used?
Rescue.
Rescue is a nice spray that gets rid of the strangles bacteria. So people can spray their clothing with it. They can spray their shoes. You can do Clorox foot baths in and out of the barn. People can wear gloves coming into the barn if you really want to get super careful about it, because it can run through a whole barn. And yes, there are vaccines for it, but just know that they don't totally protect your horses against strangles. They just make them get less sick. So just because your horse has been vaccinated doesn't necessarily mean that they are entirely covered. And so I really like to control the movement of horses and control the movement of people, isolate new horses coming in. If there are a strangles case, let's say like right next door to us, I would actually halt the movement of horses coming in, because a fly could bring it in. Just touches the bacteria right next door, brings it over to us, touches a horse, gets it on a scab of a horse, puts it on the ground, boom, we have strangles. And as much as I want to protect my barn against getting strangles, I also don't want to be the reason why other people get it. I don't want to invite my farrier in and then have him take it to somebody else. I'm way too much of a moral person to have that on my conscience as well. So just know that this strangles is a very, very serious bacteria. It can kill horses, especially if you get the internal bastard strangles as well. And if you have strangles on your property or nearby, I also recommend that you go and consult your veterinarian and say, hey, what do I do? What barns have it in my area, and how do I protect myself? Always get your veterinarian on board with what they would want you to do as well. And remember that we are not veterinarians, that this is just our recommendation on how to protect your barn against possibly getting strangles. So thank you so much for joining us, and please feel free to comment below.